so much for coming out to ComicCon and being with us here tonight. Give a round of applause for yourselves. This looks like it's going to be... Oh, come on. No, more than a smattering of applause. There you go. There you go. I'm asking you to appreciate yourselves, and you can't even do that for me. Come on, folks. Anyway, we are Cthulhu's Comedy Collective. We are a group of misfits and assholes out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. For the most part, we have a few people from Madison that come in from time to time, too. Just to get the announcement out of the way right now, we really are an 18 and up show. So unless you want your children learning a lot in a very short period of time... No? We're all good? All comfortable? Swear words okay? Genitalia? Everything's all right? Okay? Good. Excellent. Just wanted to get that out of the way now, so that if anybody complains after the show, I can tell you to go fuck yourself. So, there you go. My name is Patrick Tomlinson, everybody. I will be your host for this evening. Thank you so much for coming out, and we've arranged a group of 4 other wonderful comics for you, but we'll be getting to them in just a minute. Boy, it's been chilly, a little chilly lately. On the way over here, it was a little nicer today, but like February really came out swinging, didn't it? Just awful. I was on the way in, and I realized I miss mosquitoes. Like, how bad does winter have to be before you would willingly invite a blood-sucking, disease-carrying parasite into your home, just in case there's some chance you might be able to feel warmth again? I miss my ex-wife. It was a little rough. It was a little rough towards the end of the relationship, guys. I'm not going to lie. There wasn't a whole lot of intimacy for the last couple of years. I don't know why it dropped off, but it did. It got so bad in the last few months before the divorce that I started calling her my bag of withholding. The only place in the world where that joke will work is right. But that's what we do. We're all comics. We all work. We run around. We write jokes, and most of us, in one way or another, are big fucking nerds. And we end up writing jokes that we know we can't use anywhere else. And so thank you so much for letting us perform them here. We really appreciate it. I do this at Gen Con every year, too. I get up and I open up for some dear friends of mine for their improv troupe in front of crowds of 300 to 500 people, which is just spectacular if you've never been to Gen Con. Had kind of a weird thing happen, though, there a little while ago. Last year I was down there. I was walking around downtown, and a friend of mine and I were looking for a place to eat. Just get a couple beers, maybe a burger or whatever. When we were approached by 2 of the biggest hookers I have ever seen in my entire life. And I don't mean big. I mean big. I am 6 foot tall, 220 pounds, and I was worried, folks, okay? And one came up to us and was like, "Hey, you in town for the gaming convention?" We're like, "Yes, ma'am, we are." "Well, I hope you win a lot of money and you come back and see us." We're like, "Oh, you're thinking poker." No, it's more of like tabletop RPGs and card games. And this is when I realized I was correcting a hooker in the middle of the street. But if she'd have done even just a little bit of market research, it would have helped her whole weekend. Like, really, I mean, seriously, if her and her friend had been dressed up in like Princess Leia outfits, it wouldn't have mattered that they looked like tauntauns, okay? People would have been lining up for it. And I thought they smelled bad on the outside. Thank you for sharing that with me, everybody. That's a special moment for me. But so, as I said, I'm divorced, and I've been divorced for a couple of years now, but it was out dating again, and that's weird. That's weird when you're a nerd, and it makes everything a little bit tougher. And you don't necessarily realize you're a nerd until every now and again you get little reminders here and there. Like the other day, I was on my computer and I typed anal into the Google search bar, and it autofilled to analytics. Which was exactly what I was looking for. too much. But there's some weird things that people were doing. Do everybody remember the fire challenge? Like you saw on YouTube? Like these kids were like lighting themselves on fire, filming it, and then putting themselves out. That was the challenge, everybody. Like to live through that, I guess, was the point. And then last summer we had that ice bucket challenge, which is where you're like pouring ice water on yourself to cure Parkinson's or muscular dystrophy, or I don't remember. ALS, thank you. Well, I think we should put a ComicCon spin on it and start a new challenge. Everybody go home and start this. It is called the Song of Ice and Fire Challenge. That's where you sleep with one of your siblings and then someone kills your entire family to support diabetes research or something. I'm really not sure. Alcoholism for dwarves. I don't know what it's. I'm sure we can find a needy group the money can go to. Oh boy, I like Game of Thrones a lot, but it's strange too, though. You know, like I read the books, I've been watching the series. It's great stuff. I really appreciate it. But anybody else get that weird Game of Thrones boner when you're like right in the middle? You see a couple of two, and you hate this. The bearded man in the back. He's got You know, like up there's a couple of twins having sex, and I'm like, we are not into that. You have to have a little confab with your penis, you know. It's like, we're not lining it up here. All right, this is the dumbest joke I've ever told in front of an audience. Who wants to hear it? It's not your responsibility. What do they call the entrances to Lord Baelish's pleasure houses in King's Landing? What? Hodor. And with that, everybody, I'm going to bring up our first comic. He's a dear friend of mine. He's a frat boy, if you can believe it or not. His name is John Cooter!
Thank God I could reach that. My name's John Cooter. I don't know why that's so funny. I got made fun a lot in high school, though. People call me a pussy. And that's how creative high school students are. They're like, congratulations, you connected the dots. But I figured joke's on them, you know, because you are what you eat. Ladies. Still hasn't worked. Dressed as the TARDIS tonight? Yeah, I'm bigger on the inside than I am on the outside. I would have a punchline. I just came up with that first intro. I don't know where I was going with that. It's still funny. Yeah, so Patrick was telling me that, Patrick was telling you guys that I'm a frat boy, which is true. I'm part of a Triangle fraternity. And I actually go to the Milwaukee School of Engineering down in Milwaukee. It's pretty nerdy down there. One of the extroverts. I got a new pair of shoes last week and nobody could find me. Where's John? Where's Cooter? I don't know. It took them a week to look up. God damn it. Oh man, but we're a cool frat, like we are. I've been macking on this girl for a couple weeks. All I have to do is roll a plus 18 on a D20. And I'm set. Yeah, like we party hardcore. We drink beer. It just happens to be raised to the power of 1/2. So thankful I can tell that joke here. Normally I have to educate people after that. Usually I get my whiteboard out and I go, here's factorials and here's powers. And turns out a square root is the same as power to the 1/2. Who knew? I'm not even going to try lowering this mic. I'm a mechanical engineer. I can't even lower this. Nope. Alright, so my school, they were raising funds for polar bears. And they go, hey John, you want to donate money to the polar bears? And I'm like, you know, it's been a while since I've seen a polar bear. Like, who actually, raise your hand if you've seen a polar bear within the last year, in person. You guys don't count. Still, that's only like 5%. Like, I'm just saying, if polar bears were to go extinct, I wouldn't notice. It's true. Like, nobody's last wish would be to see a polar bear. At all. I'm actually a Make-A-Wish kid. Do you guys know what the Make-A-Wish Foundation is? They grant wishes? Yeah! It's surprising that not more kids wish to get better. Turns out it was as easy as that. No, I'm actually, for real, I am a Make-A-Wish kid. When I was 6 years old, I went to Disneyland, and I didn't realize this now, but when I was there, they gave me a button that let me go in front of all the lines. And I figured that's more of a publicity stunt than it is helping, because imagine the headlines of what, like, Disneyland has. Like, Make-A-Wish kid dies while in the happiest place on earth. Like, that's still pretty good. And then, like, way down below is, like, Make-A-Wish kid dies while waiting in line for his favorite ride. Like, that is awful. You know what's even above that? Make-A-Wish kid dies before his wish is made. Because at least he can go to somebody else. Yeah, so, I'm a Make-A-Wish kid. I just turned 21 recently, and by recently I mean more than a year ago, because that's how comedian jokes work. So before I turned 21, I asked my doctors. I said, "Hey, I have all these medical conditions. What happens if I were to drink?" And they looked at me and they said, "I don't know. Why don't you tell us?" That's terrifying. Asking a doctor for a medical opinion, and he goes, "I don't know, go see what happens." But I survived the year drinking. I found out that you can get pretty fucked up. A lot of those weekends I don't remember. And like, I want to, like, because I'm one of the oldest people with like all my medical conditions, and I want to see what would happen. And I went to my doctors. I'm like, hey, what are the effects of marijuana with this? If you supply it, I'll keep a journal. Try some cocaine. Not Molly. Not Molly. Not because I'm afraid of twerking. That's exercise. And I don't like that. So, what my whole disease entails, I don't have adrenaline, actually. People ask me, like, how do you get scared? I'm like, I don't. Nah. We just had the snowstorms. I was riding in the back seat of one of my friend's cars, and they hit a patch of ice, and they spun 3 times. And everybody was freaking out. Everybody was screaming, and I go, no, 3 times. Impressive. Yeah. So I have this whole like disease thing and medical thing. So one of the sororities on my campus asked, "Hey John, you like tits?" And I said, "You have my attention." And they said, "Would you like to give money to the Breast Cancer Association?" I go, "You know, I don't get to see them that often. When I do have to pay, it's only from afar. They're kind of like polar bears. And if they were to go extinct, I don't think I'd really notice." All right, my name's John Cooter. You can follow me on Twitter @ShortCooter. Don't Google image search it. just short cooter, exactly how you think it would be spelled. So we're gonna try this right now, and got it.
Keep it going for John Cooter, everybody. That was great. Up next is another Milwaukee comic who I love to put on stage because she fulfills both the gender and ethnic requirements all in one person. So I can keep putting up more underrepresented straight white males. Anyway, everybody, please give a warm welcome to Lisanne Wood!
Thank you. I'm always happy to help out the white man cause. That's great. When I say white, you say power. White. Power. Oh, they thought we were gonna sit here. This is nice. This is mine. That's a fantasy I'll fulfill later. As many of us had. We got here early. I had a lot of fun here at the con, looking around. This isn't my first, like fucking con rodeo or anything like that. But here's the thing, is that I was surprised because I will hang out with these people normally, and you will not realize how every feminist bone in my body was shaken today. like every single Harley Quinn that walked by, they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like, we were talking about, something, I don't know, something beautiful, but, whatever. It's okay. It's okay. But I do have a face. And I have a face that when I'm looking right at you, or maybe when I'm looking at you guys from the side, it looks like I'm giving you a dirty look. But I'm really not, and this has caused me some problems socially. And I've been hanging out with this new group of people, actually, and I went up to them, and I'm like, you know what, you guys, I think you're really cool. I'm not giving you a dirty look. And they said, oh, we know, we just don't like you as a person. Yeah, so that was fun. Actually, I was raised a little bit sheltered. Like, my mom, for instance, wouldn't let me play with Barbies while I was growing up. She was too afraid that they were going to turn me into a slut. And all I can say is, joke's on you, Mom. I'm a lesbian. Just kidding, I'm not a lesbian. But I do love Arby's. Love Arby's.